and welcome to another edition of Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about the FOIA. Now, at first blush, the FOIA seems like kind of a dull subject, right? Getting a copy of your file from immigration. Well, it can be very useful, and there are different ways of getting it. And I know that a lot of people are afraid to order their FOIA because they think if they order their FOIA, they're going to put up a flag and that all of a sudden immigration will be at their door. Well, I can't tell you for sure that that's not going to happen, especially the way things are today and especially the way they're trying to track people down. It's unlikely because basically the FOIA itself, and that stands for Freedom of Information Act, what that does is that gives you or your attorney the right to order a copy of your file from any number of agencies from immigration. It could be from ICE, it could be from Border Patrol, it could be from Department of State, it could be from the Immigration Court, wherever you happen to have had contact with immigration and wherever there might be proceedings. So in this particular situation, we're going to, learn what it is they have on you in order for you to proceed forward. A lot of times people come into my office and they're unclear what they think might have happened to them. They don't know, for example, one of the biggest ones is they don't know, for example, if when they came into the U.S. and they were returned back to their home country, whether it was voluntary or whether it was a removal order, whether it was expedited removal, whether there was charges of fraud and misrepresentation, whether there was charges of, claiming to be a U.S. citizen, whatever it is, I need to know as an attorney in order to help them, because without having that information, it's unclear with which path to take. So, and especially, when a lot of times clients will come in and they won't remember exactly what happened 15 years ago. It's just a whirlwind for them. They just know they tried to come in and they were returned. Okay. And they remember that maybe they signed something, maybe they didn't, maybe they got fingerprints, maybe they didn't. And so in this particular regard, and it's not always helpful, but in this particular regard, when you do get the FOIA back, it does list more or less what immigration has on you. Now, the reality also is that immigration can redact certain portions of the FOIA based on what they perceive to be, lawful redaction. I can just tell you that in the last year, more and more has been redacted. There was one time I got a FOIA. It was almost humorous. The FOIA itself was about 25 pages, and about 23 pages had been redacted. And so it was just a big white paper with the law, allowing, under their perceived notion, allowing them to redact. And if you want to fight that, you have to go to court and get an order to get an unredacted version of the particular FOIA. But at least for example, if you're going to do a permission to reenter, you don't need a permission to reenter if you don't have a deportation order, but you have to know if you have a deportation order in order to do it. You need to know, for example, if you're going to be doing a provisional waiver, whether or not there's any other grounds of inadmissibility, which there will be if you have been expeditedly removed. So, the risks of doing nothing, which that's really what it comes down to. Do you risk getting a FOIA to find out what the reality of your situation is so you can move forward and try to fix your situation? Or do you do nothing and hide and hope that somehow the law gets better? Well, obviously the first choice is the better one. Because you have no control over the second choice. If they're going to be at your door, if you're going to have a broken taillight, if you're going to be at work at the wrong place, wrong time, you can't control any of that, but you can control when you order the FOIA. You can control having it analyzed, read, determined what it is that needs to be done, and then you can go forward. So the FOIA itself is a very important tool, and there's more ways now of getting it more rapidly. There's different divisions of immigration in different parts of the country that allow you to actually do it online. So you can do the FOIA online. You can order it, and it takes less time than it used to. So it is an efficient way, more or less, under government standards, of seeing what it is that is on you. And sometimes that is more important than going forward blindly, not knowing or just guessing. Okay, so if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming videos. Thank you.